Hello everyone, this is Lindsay. Welcome back to my channel. I have a fun video for you today. We're going to have a tutorial, which is a Christmas idea. It's not Christmas themed, so you really can use it any time of year, but I have a tutorial on making a writing journal. Before I do that, I have a couple of supplies to share with you from the lovely JoAnn. We have a bag of goodies from her, so I'm going to quickly show you what she's added to her sections. So some Christmas labels for your December daily or whatever Christmas you might be doing. And more Christmas labels, really cute decorations, evergreen. These are so adorable, especially if you're working on a December daily, go along with Christmas journals. 4 Christmas variety bags. Each includes 3 tall pockets and tags, 2 triple pockets and tags, and 5 Christmas labels. We'll look at one. So here's an example of using the label, and then inside she has little tucks. Aren't they cute? Little pockets that can be used as side pockets or belly bands, and they have the journal cards in them. Of course, oh, there's labels in here too. So all of these would go really, really well with Christmas journals, and you'll want to scarf them up because starting later this week, probably later this week, we are going to be showing a ton of Christmas journals from my marketplace artists, and I know that you will want to be picking all of that. Well, I'm trying to keep stuff together here. That way I can easily find it to ship it to all of you. She's restocked her 4x6 damask bags in sets of, I think it's 15. So those have been pretty popular in the last month. So I hope that if anybody wanted those or need more of them, you'll know to find them in JoAnn's supplies. Little accordion Christmas folder. Again, those labels. Oh, that is pretty. Little like circle dangles. They would be great on the edge of a journal page. You could add a Christmas photo, a little Christmas photo. This is made with like wrapping paper. A little Christmas photo right here. They could be cute ornaments too. And that just tucks in there. It did get a little damaged in shipping. I mean, it still works just fine. And those of you who are paper crafters yourself can maybe add a little washi or something to that. Look at this beautiful, I love this wallpaper, beautiful wallpaper pouch, and it is a bag of clusters. Her clusters are gorgeous. Aren't they pretty? She just knows how to put them together so well. I love her clusters, Yvette's, and Tammy's, and they all have a little bit of a different style, but they are all of them, they're my favorite artists for clusters. Somehow they can just always pull it together. Look at that one. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, I'm drooling over that one. That is definitely one I would use. And then, of course, store in the bag, reuse the bag. Okay, we have one of those. Christmas envelopes. Excited about that. Ooh. So there's 3 of them. We're only going to look at one. Isn't that beautiful? So they're all similar. You'll get one. You have a little paper clip. And then, whoops, inside your pouch or envelope, you have, these are called quadruple pockets. So there's 4 pockets and then the journal cards. And then you can make these any way you want to stick in your Christmas journals. Lots to work with there. Of course, this pouch can easily be sewn into a signature with that flap or be used to mail something, some happy mail. So there's 3 sets of those. We looked at one, but they're all very, very similar. So you will get a random one. Here's another wallpaper pouch. Isn't that a beautiful flower on the front? So this has 11 filled pockets in it. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. They're pockets, and then they have little things tucked in them. You can add more journal cards. You can write on these. You can add lace. You can add your favorite ephemera. That's a lot of pockets in there. They all coordinate so incredibly beautifully. Look at the backs on that. These would look really pretty on the front of a journal too. And then you just add your favorite little bits to it. I love JoAnn's work. Her work always seems to complete my journals. 2 accordion pouches with 8 hangy circle tags. Pretty papers. Okay, and then the little accordion, and then these are the little circle hangy taggies. There's some in all of those. You'll get a random one. Beautiful colors. You know, I really think this could be winter themed as well, with this kind of white and crispy blue. Super pretty. Put those back where they belong. It's harder shipping orders than you would think. It's hard finding all the right items. 3 little golden books. These are all Christmas. So this is Noel. This is a 1993. Really cute for Christmas journals. This is Rudolph. And this is a 1958, but it's reprinted in 76. So this is the 76 copy. And then an Animals Christmas Eve, which is 77. Has the story of the Nativity in here, which is lovely. Those are listed separately, so you can pick the one you want. 5 layered circle hanging tags and 3 clusters. Okay. Woo! Pretty colors. Look at that. Look at how pretty that is. Here's your little circle tags. Super pretty. Collaged papers. Little tags hanging on them. Really pretty. So much you can do with that. These are bulb pins, so you could add on buttons, beads, laces, trims. Just make it any way you wanted. 2 Christmas accordion envelopes with 10 Christmas labels in each. This one says Snowball. This one says Winter Wonderland. You'll get a random one. It's mini. It's so cute. And then more of these little Christmas labels that you can use. There's 10 labels in each one. You'll get a random one. You'll either get Snowball or Winter Wonderland. Really, really fun for those December dailies. And if you have a friend that you know is going to be doing Christmas memory keeping, you could get one for her too. Accordion envelope with 7 large clusters and tags. This is a piece of sari silk. Look at how pretty those are. So these are just like random gorgeous clusters. Got some big tags in here. It's just kind of starting you out. You can store ephemera in here. And these are nice if you don't stuff them too full to put in a journal to store extra ephemera. If you're working on a journal and there is a good amount of space between 2 signatures, this slips in really well in between. Pretty. Look at those creamy colors. This background here is from William Morris Wallpaper. It's one of my digitals. Goes really well with this envelope. So it says 8 large pockets with 8 tags. Okay. Ooh, gorgeous colors. Look at those colors. Really pretty. And they're pockets. Here, let's see if they all have a journal card. Super pretty. Getting through it. This one's called Extraordinary. This is gorgeous wallpaper. Isn't that pretty? Look at these. So they're like envelope pockets. Yeah. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? A collaged index card slips in the envelope pocket. So these could be floating pockets. A floating pocket means it's not glued down. So you clip it to the page or just slip it in a page, or you could glue 3 sides or glue the whole thing down. These would be beautiful on the front cover of a journal as well. This is a gorgeous set. That might be my favorite thing she's made from this collection yet. 1 altered clip, 6 Christmas labels, 4 circle tags. So here's your little altered clip. You can put that in your December daily. You could add a little button on the flower, a little rhinestone on the flower. Maybe you have stickles or something. You can look at all these cute little Christmas labels and Christmas hangy. They look like ornaments. They look like junk journal ornaments. They're so nice. They'd be so great for your Christmas journaling. And if you're sending Christmas presents or Christmas happy mail, I think that would be a lot of fun to split up amongst your pen pals as well. Let's see. Wallpaper bag, an 11 filled side loading pockets. So first, gorgeous bag. You can use it in a million different ways, and then more of these side loading pockets. Gorgeous colors. They all coordinate. You could do a collection of journals, or you could put several of these in one journal, or you could send them in happy mail. Use them as bookmarks. So many things that you can do with those. Pretty little envelope. Envelope and 3 triple pockets with little tags. These are a little more fall themed, but they're also just nature themed. So you can go nature or fall. A lot of times the fall things, if you don't add a lot of pumpkins and turkeys, can just go woodland themed, which is really nice. Okay, this is another Christmas labels and circle tags, I think. Yeah, pretty much the same that we just looked at. The labels and the circle hang tags with the altered paper clip. And last but not least for hers, before we get into the tutorial, is a design team project she did for Shabby Dabby Doodah. This is called the Time Traveler. She has listed this both in JoAnn's Handmade and under the Marketplace journals. That way you can find it whether you're looking for journals or looking for her things in particular. This is a gorgeous fabric pouch. I wish you could feel it. It's nice and plush, very beautiful. And then inside it is a journal and an ephemera folder. So the journal's ring bound. Look at the sari silk and those beads. Isn't that gorgeous? And then it is a beautiful journal. This is perfect for writing. The ring bound makes it easy to add in extra pages. And these are all reinforced. There's inking, stamping, good quality papers, like heavy papers. So you could really do sprays and mixed media and things like that on there if you wished, and painting and, you know, playing around with this gorgeous. See, here's an example of how you can use one of these side loading pockets that she has. Put it on a page, write your little note here, tuck it in. You can tuck in another little piece of ephemera. Gorgeous pages. Some of them are really thick. Pockets, journal cards. I love that butterfly stamp. Little text stamps. So pretty. So that is a really nice quality ring-bound journal. You can make it your own and add vintage buttons down here. So pretty. And then this protects it, makes it an excellent gift. And then this goes right along with it. This is an altered paper clip. Isn't that cute? And then in here, it is full of ephemera. So you have laces and trims. You have ephemera pieces. I think a lot of these are from Tina, from the Shabby Dabby Doodah kit. And little buttons. And then, of course, you can add extra things. And this you can use to decorate the journal while you are working through it, and it fits right there in that pouch as well. So the reason I am putting a tutorial along with JoAnn's things is JoAnn and I have an item in the shop that I've talked about before, but I will continue to talk about because I'm so in love with it, and she is as well, is our new Dreamy Designs Image Club. And I thought that I would print out one of the kits in its entirety and then make something with it that you could use for Christmas gifts. Now, you do not have to purchase Dreamy Designs Club to make this tutorial. You can literally use any digital kit, collection of scrapbook papers, collection of whatever papers you want. I chose to use the kit Fresh Lavender. JoAnn and I created this together, and Dreamy Designs Club is front. When you pull up my website, it's right there up at the top, and it says Dreamy Designs Club. You click right on it. It's on sale for $20. That is a lifetime subscription. You never have to pay anything else, just that $20, and you will get everything that we put into that club, which is about one new kit every other week, because each kit will have about 20 files. So our goal is 10 files a week or 5 files per artist a week. So it takes us about 2 weeks to finish one. Fresh Lavender is our most recent completed one. And we are currently working on Blooms and Butterflies, which has a blue theme to it. This is purple and green. So I'm going to flip through. We're going to do a tutorial. We're going to make something that you can easily make for Christmas. And we're doing a writing journal. That means you don't have to do a ton of embellishing, and a lot more people understand what it is. It's not a junk journal as much as it is a notebook. So I have just printed purple lines on the other side. And I got these. This is called pastel lined paper. I got it on Etsy. I do not remember the shop name. I've never purchased from them before. I did put it on my Facebook group when I did buy it. You can just go on Etsy, search pastel lined paper, digital paper, and it should come up. But I used purple. That's for writing. So JoAnn made this paper. So what we're going to do, we're going to keep this super, super simple. And we're just going to start folding our pages in half. That's how we start out with our signature. A signature is just the collection of papers in a journal. It's just, you may have more than one signature because you may have more than one group of papers in a journal. So a signature is a group of papers in a journal. We are just going to make a simple one signature or one group of papers. So we're going to fold all these in half. They're all just printed with the purple lines on the back. And I did that so that I wouldn't have to worry about doing anything on the back. You could print other digitals on the back. You could stencil on the back. You could coffee dye, especially if you're using a laser printer. You could go ahead and coffee dye these. If you have these pages printed, like say at Office Depot or something like that, they print it on laser machines. You can go ahead and coffee dye that. At this time, I do not have these pages for sale printed. If you do want to purchase them printed, you could send me a message. I haven't actually worked all that out yet. So JoAnn has created this page, this page, this page, and this page. I did this one, and it says remarks here on the ribbon, and then Fresh Lavender. This is like the opening title page. JoAnn made this one. I love the bursting lavender and those white berries. So pretty. JoAnn made this one as well. And this one, a lot of these you can print. I printed them full page, but you could print 4 to a page or 6 to a page and make journal cards out of them as well. This would be an incredible journal card. And actually, I wasn't even sure if she meant it to be a journal card or a journal page. And I made this one, and I used a really pretty purple ledger for the background of that one. I also did this one so that there were some writing pages in case, you know, I wasn't doing lined paper on the other side. JoAnn created this one. Isn't that wreath gorgeous? And the hydrangea in the middle. Oh, so pretty. And if you wanted to, you could cut out around the wreath and have a circular page. In fact, you know, since I'm thinking about it, let's do it. It does not have to be fancy, and it does not have to be exact, but doing a different shaped page could be really fun in this journal. Not necessary. You can leave it. And if you are not following along with the Fresh Lavender kit, then, you know, that wouldn't work for you. But isn't that cool? Really neat. So we have that. And then I made this page here. Look at the little purple butterflies, because who doesn't love butterflies? And then JoAnn did this one. Again, there's that purple butterfly. The way we're able to use the same digitals in the kit is we both have a subscription to Creative Fabrica, and that way we communicate and we download the same kits on our own subscription. So she's, you know, she picked the lavender kit and these 2 different collections of digitals, and then we pull from other things as well. So this one says Just Be and Welcome. This is an ink saver page that I created. All right. And then these are ephemera. We're going to get to that in a minute. And we probably will not use all of this since we're doing a writing journal, but I wanted to kind of show you what is in there. So we'll get to that in a minute. We're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And I want to do 15 So what I'm going to do is grab these 2 pages of avocado dyed paper that was sent to me in Happy Mail. And look at that. I love little torn edges. I think it just adds so much character. So don't ever be afraid to put, like, as long as this middle, this crease is holding up, if the edges are tearing and torn a little bit, you wouldn't want that on every single page throughout, but a few of them, it's really cool. So we're going to add these 2 in, then we have 15 pages. So 15 pages means 60 writing size, 60 pages. So that's great. I'm going to mention right now, before we make the cover, this is going to be a little bit of a long video. Before we make the cover, I'm going to be using this completed journal that you'll see at the end here as a promotion for the shop. I want to give it to one of you. I want you to be able to have it as a promotion. So this is not like a giveaway, a YouTube sponsor or YouTube giveaway or anything like that. It's not. It's a promotion for my shop, and all that in order to take part in the promotion or to support this promotion, just go over to the Marketplace Journals section of my website. And you can just click the link in the description box below, go to Marketplace Journals. There are a ton of journals there at excellent prices that I would love to see have nice homes, and I'd love to be able to pay the artists for their work. So if you purchase 2 journals from Marketplace Journals today, has to be today, then tomorrow morning when I'm going through all of the orders, I will randomly pick one person for this promotion. I will randomly pick one person that ordered 2 journals, and that person will get this journal sent in for free. And I will announce that over on my Facebook group, Nevermore Creations, Junk, Journals, and Friends. So again, buy 2 Marketplace journals, and I will put your name in a drawing for this promotion, and you will get this journal for free if you win. I will announce that tomorrow morning on my Facebook group. All right, so let's make a cover for this. Before we put together our signature, let's make a cover. I'm going to do a wallpaper cover, and I want to talk about a couple things, okay? You don't have to do a wallpaper cover. Wallpaper, I love a wallpaper base because it holds up so incredibly well. This is kind of not ugly, but it's a blob piece of wallpaper. There's not even much color to it. Okay, there's a reason why I picked this. You can pick the most beautiful piece of wallpaper in the world, or you can pick a plain one. This has slight texture to it, and then you can make it beautiful by decorating it. And then you kind of get to use up the plainer ones as well. So this was in my stash. I don't even know why it was in my stash. It's not that amazing. We're going to make it amazing. So if you need wallpaper for a journal cover, I'm adding into my shop. I've already cut these down to the correct size, 3 sets. So these are under Lindsay's Supplies. I have Old Boston. These are all 9x12. So they're 9x6, which is the perfect size for when you print off an 8.5x11 sheet. It folds exactly into this, and you'll see that in just a minute. So this is Old Boston. There are 5 sheets. So these are perfect for journal covers, already cut down to that size. There's Felicity. This one is a little bit prettier, a little bit more ornate, and like the blooms and the flowers. And then Crisp Pastels. This is more similar to this, but a little more color. This is a really pretty purple, so this would go gorgeous with the fresh lavender. So these are in my shop. And then these, I just had these ready, so I'll show you. These are extremely textured. They feel so cool. And these are 8.5x11 size, so you could make a smaller journal out of it or just use it. I want to use some of the ones that I kept for die cutting because I really think it's kind of embossed and the texture's crazy. So I really think that would be so cool for like tags and things like that. So there's 15 pages of 8.5x11 and then 15 strips that are 3x11. So these make great tags and pockets and stuff like that. So those are in there too, but that was random. All right, let's get this cover made. I have my little paper trimmer and I am going to, it's not even, so let me even off the edge before I make the right cut here. Okay, so we are going to cut this to 6x9. And you can go slightly under the 6x9 if you want less overhang, but 6x9 is fine. It's folded in half. That's why I'm doing 6x9, because if it was open, it would be 12x9. and then just slightly under the 6. Don't throw away these wallpaper scraps. Wallpaper scraps are gold. We can make, like, if you have a strip, you can just fold it and glue or stitch. I recommend stitching for this, but there you go. You have a wallpaper ribbon that you can use along the edge of a page. I'll maybe stitch that and show you that in a minute. And then you have this, which can be a smaller journal cover. It can be tags. It can be pockets. It can be, we may even use some of that. Now, we don't want to just leave it like this. And the reason why is it is too flimsy. It won't protect and support the papers very well. So we are going to add more paper, and you could add paper, wallpaper, fabric, so many different things. I'm just using a scrapbook paper. This is not even a cardstock, it's just a paper. And I'm choosing this one because of the green color. I want to pull out some of the green in the fresh lavender pages. If you look at some of these fresh lavender pages, see the pops of green? I really want to pull that out, and I don't want to just have this a purple journal. So, but really, you could use whatever you wanted. And this is how I reinforce my journals. I think this is extremely important steps, especially if you're creating journals to sell. All right, I have a glue. Whoa, I'm dropping stuff. I have a glue stick. You can use any glue stick you want if you are going to be stitching the edges. If you are not going to be stitching the edges, then I suggest like a really good one like Oohoo, or maybe a double-sided tape runner along the edges, or really good like a Fabri-Tac glue or something so that the edges don't peel up. I will be stitching this, so I'm not going to worry too much about where my glue is globbing everywhere. But besides that, I'm not going to cover all of the real estate here. I'm just putting enough glue to hold the paper till I get to my sewing machine. But if you don't have a sewing machine, it works just as well. Just make sure that your glue goes all the way to the edge. So I line up, I go just inside the crease. I don't go all the way up to the crease, just inside the crease, and then up to the top, line it up. Well, you know, lining it up is kind of important. So let me try again. All right, all the way up to the top. Then I just really add some friction and pressure like that. Now, when I first started creating junk journals, what I used to do is I would take this whole piece of paper and then I would glue it down over the whole thing and try to fold it in half with the paper. Problem with that is the paper tends to buckle and tends to crease and fold, and you kind of get an amateur nasty mess. And if we're trying to sell our work, we want a little bit better quality. So this is what I do now. I go right inside there, I flip it over, and look, you have really nice cutting lines. You just grab your scissors and just cut to the edge you already have. Go as straight as you can. Try not to cut off any of the wallpaper. If you do cut off a snip, it's not the end of the world, especially if you're stitching. Stitching hides a multitude of sins. It really, really, really does. So if you've been too afraid to use a sewing machine or to try it out, you know, I'd really encourage you to be brave and give it a try, but it's not necessary. I make journals without sewing sometimes. All right, I do the exact same thing on the other side, just adding enough glue so that it will tack down the paper, but I'm not really that worried about it. Okay, and then I'm going to do the exact same thing, line it up here to the top. And yes, there's a gap in the middle. That is on purpose. I will get to that in just a second. Before I get to that, I need to trim this paper flush with the cover. And you can do this in absolutely any theme for Christmas gifts. They make excellent gifts. Okay, just move that aside. All right. Now see, when we fold it in half, we don't have any buckling, but this middle part we're going to reinforce because we're actually going to be stitching in the signatures and we don't want things to pull and tear. This is an amazing hack. If you're using wallpaper, you usually have a strip left over, and this is not the straightest strip, so I will trim it. Oh, look, I have a different paper cutter here too. So just grab this one, it doesn't matter. Try to kind of make it straight. It just kind of helps with the overall look of everything. Mine's not perfectly straight, and you know that is okay. Just do your best. Do your best. Okay. Wallpaper is great for reinforcing because it's kind of like fabric. You may even want to start creasing it just a little bit. All right. And then grab that glue again and really lay it down here. You don't want to glob it on because you don't want to feel glue globs, but you want enough that it's going to really grab that wallpaper so that it'll hold it in place while you are stitching. Or if you are not stitching, then you really need to make sure the glue, maybe get Fabri-Tac glue or tacky glue, and make sure that you have glue all around this. Okay, so now we're reinforced really well. It looks beautiful. And then when you fold it, especially after you stitch it, you don't have creasing. It's perfect. I'm going to take this over to my sewing machine. I'm going to stitch it up and I'm going to come back, show you the stitching, and then we will get to making our signature. I'm back and here it is. So I stitched around here, and whatever thread is in my sewing machine, it happens to be burgundy, and then my bobbins are always white because I buy them pre-wound in bulk off of Amazon, and I just go around here twice, and you see the white stitching through here, which is fine. I'll probably ink that up in a second, and then it's stitched around. You can use any stitch you want, zigzag, straight, whatever. This is just the one I picked. You don't even have to ink it. I'm going to ink it because I like an ink to look, and I'm using Distress Oxide Walnut Stain because it's what's here, not because I gave it a ton of thought. And then usually I just flick it on the corners. Well, I'm not even going to worry about that stitching. And I might even open it up and make sure that it's kind of flicked on the inside pages. Just kind of gives it this painted artiste look, finished look. Don't worry if it gets messy. That adds to the charm. Cover is done. Let's go back to our signature. So here's our papers right here, and you could add in book pages. You can add in whatever you want. If you know enough about making a junk journal and you've already made them, then you don't need me to tell you add book pages, add this, add that, whatever. But if you're new, whatever you've got. So really simple here. I've just printed out, like I showed you, I added 2 dyed papers. If you don't have dyed papers, that's fine. Use whatever paper you have. Use notebook lined paper. Use, whatever you want. Now, I tend to try to stay away from just plain white copy paper. You can do it, but it does tend to look really tacky. Occasional here or there might be okay, but like having a couple pages and then just a bunch of white paper, like try to dye it or ink it or something. All right, let's put this together before we run out of time. All right, I wanted to start. Oh, well, I want to ink. I don't ink up all my pages just because it takes a lot of time, but I did want to ink my circle page just because it was different. And I thought that inking these edges might be kind of cool. And then also look like it was supposed to be that way and finish it off. It's just a personal thought. I don't give my journals a ton of thought. I go with listen to the artist inside me, however, whatever that means. I want to start with this page, Fresh Lavender. After I pick my first page, which is going to be right here, I don't think too much about it. I just kind of spread out my pages enough that I can see the color scheme, and then I begin. So I open it up here. This is going to be pretty easy to put together because everything is lined on the other side. So I'm just, all right, I don't want lines and lines. So that's probably a great place to put one of these avocado dyed papers. Stick that there. And I am really not overthinking this. I'm doing this in real time. You can just see what I'm grabbing. And I just set each page inside. Where is that second avocado dyed page? There, and then just laying them all in on top of each other. Looks beautiful. And once they're laid in, that's a signature. Kind of looks like a little booklet. And that hugs right inside our cover. Absolutely perfect. Now, before I sew it in, I want to secure the pages to the cover. And usually I grab a couple paper clips. And I put one here and one here. If you wish, you can add more than one clip, like you could add clips here and clips there, but I've done this a lot and I know I can do it with 2 clips. You want an awl, something really sharp and pointy like this, and you can measure it out. I eyeball it. I do a pamphlet stitch with 3 holes usually, so I pick about the middle and I poke through everything, including the cover. If you have a hard time poking through it, you could do the pages and then the cover, but I just do that, and then I eyeball closer to the top and closer to the bottom on each side. I don't worry about measuring, I just eyeball. You don't want those holes too big, just poke through enough to get a needle through. I have a needle. Do not overthink your thread either. You just don't want a single strand of something that's going to break. And I just lost I had green embroidery thread here because this isn't enough. I will have to go grab some more. I obviously dropped it. So seriously, don't overthink it. Even though this is blue and white, it's baker's twine. I'm going to use it because some of the pages have blue on it and it's good enough. It'll actually look really pretty to pull that blue out. So I'm just going to thread my needle and do a simple pamphlet stitch. I go in the middle, pull out, leave a tail for tying off, go in one, doesn't matter which hole, pick a hole, top or bottom, pull tight, go back in the first hole, pull tight, go in the hole that you haven't touched yet, pull tight, and now we're going to tie it off. A lot of people have trouble making this tight. Here's my trick. Make sure everything first is tight. If you have a lot of extra thread, you can just cut it off, get it out of the way. All right. Make your X, or whatever you want to call it, stick it through, pull it tight. Now, if you try to do that again, it's going to be too loose. So here's the trick. You do make your X, you stick it through, but you don't pull it here yet. All right. So here's our first one that we just had. You're going to pull that as tight as you can, kind of hold it down, make your second X, pull it through, and instead of pulling straight down, you want to hold this tight off to the side so that when you pull this knot, there we go, it's all the way tight. And I double knot it, and then I just trim it off, leave it just like that, and we're done. Now that is the basic journal here, right there, but we want to decorate the cover. So I'm going to show you all of the ephemera pieces. I printed these on 110-pound white cardstock, but if you don't have cardstock, they can be printed on plain paper, or if you're ordering prints from me on one of the kits and it's printed on presentation paper, you can back it, just glue it onto coffee dye paper, wallpaper, something else. So there's some really pretty, like, decorated envelopes. I made this one. JoAnn made these labels. I made this one here. My journal notes, my thoughts, date. JoAnn did this page of ephemera. I did these big journal cards. And then these little library cards. We are not using it all. We are not decorating the whole journal because we're making a writing journal. I'm going to use one of these big journal cards for the front image. We are staying super simple. Those of you who have been made lots of journals, you know you can add lace and stitching and texture paste and beads and glitter and collaging. And yes, if you already know that, you don't need me to show you for this tutorial. So you can go ahead and do that. This is just for basic, like, you know, make several of them over a weekend for a Christmas party or for Christmas gifts or something like that. I'm inking the edges just so that it's separated easily from the front. Since we are actually working on a wallpaper, it's going to be a little, we want to make sure we're using a good glue, and this glue is not going to cooperate. I haven't used it in a long time and it's kind of gotten like dried out. So I'm probably going to have to go get a different glue because my glue stick is not going to work. Okay, yay, I had another glue right here. This is Eileen's Tacky Glue. I'm hoping this will work. It is almost empty, but I think I have enough. So see what I'm doing here, since I'm not going to be stitching it on, see how I'm being very careful to get glue all the way up to the edge. And that's what you would want to do whenever you're not sewing. And then just kind of fill in with glue. Center it however you want it on the cover. Press down. All right. And then we could use, what I'm going to use here, these are some words you can cut out. I'm going to use heartfelt and dreams. These are kind of meant to be used like you would the Tim Holtz sticker words, except they're not stickers. You'll have to use glue on them. So I'm just going to cut out heartfelt, and then I'm going to cut out dreams, and then I'm going to, and it doesn't even have to be perfectly even. It can be messy. I'm just inking it. This is perfect for a writing journal, heartfelt dreams. Heartfelt dreams, or you could go heartfelt dreams down there. Oh, that's pretty. I like that. That's a little different. All right, and then I'm going to grab my glue again. Make sure I've kind of got those corners really well. Again, you can decorate it all up if you have lots of different ideas. This is just meant to be quick and easy Christmas gifts. So then it says heartfelt dream. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, so pretty. And then there's lots of places to write. We're not going to be putting in all of these labels and everything. I'm just showing you they're available for decorating, but we're not doing that. We're just leaving this as a writing journal. However, I think it is really cute to have a library card in the back. So, and there are 2 different library cards in Lavender Dreams, and you can print them any size you want. I printed 2 of each, and this is the size I printed, but there's 2 different ones. I think it's kind of just fun to have a library card in the back. So that's what we're going to do. And then we're going to call it a day. You can decorate it all up if you wish. But if you have, maybe you have 20 of them to make because you're making them for coworkers or extended family and you don't have time and you're just making them writing journals, then you can really bust a bunch of these out in time for Christmas. They make excellent gifts. And then I'm just going to stick that right there. So pretty. Look at how it looks. All right, let's just flip through it real quick. So again, if you want this journal, order 2 journals from Marketplace Journals on my website, and I'll let you know who is going to be getting this in the morning. Randomly pick one of you. Just check out my Facebook group. It'll tell you over there, and it'll be tucked in. So cute. I love how it came out. So this journal I would call Heartfelt Dreams. Thank you so much for watching. I know this was a very long video, but I hope you got a lot out of it. I hope you have an incredibly amazing day, and I will see all of you tomorrow.